It's fucking. What's up, TIW Mafia? JP here, and I'm here with the fucking Prize City OG,
the shooter
Alec
on
Pri.
the scooter.
Kid that's been tearing up New England for the last year or so? 2 years, maybe.
About last past year, I've starting to blow up a little bit, but I've been working for the past 3 years.
I mean, you're hitting all the big companies.
I'm trying to.
Beyond, Limitless. So you've had some. You hit Beyond, and you had it was you and CJ, who you guys tore that up. I was there for that one, and then they threw you right in the tournament for tomorrow.
Yeah, the best in New England.
What was that like?
Me and CJ have had matches together, right?
Yeah, all over the place.
I love CJ. Me and CJ have great chemistry. We always have bangers. Yeah. So after the Beyond match, I was like, I really want them to bring me back. And, Drew hit me up and was like, hey, maybe something. I was like, ooh. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And then, he was like, all right, well, got you. And it was the tournament. And I was like, wow. Like, the first time I ever stepped out of the entranceway to Beyond, it was like when I stepped out of Limitless for the first time. I kind of was just like, because you can tell that it's another level of wrestling. Right. It's not regular shindies. It's not your local yokels. Like, I'm not talking shit about any promotion because there's been promotions that put me on, and I give them respect for giving me that shot. But when you walk into a promotion or a show like that, it takes you for a second. You know what I mean? It takes you a second to digest it a little bit. You know what I mean?
Right. And you did the Limitless. You did Let's Wrestle first and then went to Limitless, right? Which is kind of the stepping stone for that.
Well, yeah, that's what Let's Wrestle was built on, was to give local give eyes on the locals. And to be honest, when I first went up there, Randy really didn't even think much of me. I got booked for the Rumble off of my help of Danger Kid and Alexander Lee, and you know what I mean. They were putting me, putting some name out there for me, putting some words in there for me.
But you do things the right way too. Like I've seen you at shows like New England All Star and stuff like that. You show up and you walk up to the promoter and say, "What do you need? How can I help you?" And then it's like, by the way, if you got a spot, I got my gear.
Well, because that's what Bo in the Bell Time Club trained us. They train us the right way. That's how wrestling should be. It shouldn't be going there expecting like you're a superstar, because there's people that are on TV that don't pull none of the superstar bull. You know what I mean? Like, we're all wrestlers. We all bleed blood. We're all men. We're all women. We're all whatever you know what I mean? Whatever you want to call yourself. We're all humans. So why need to go in there and pull some bull? Like,
right?
You know what I mean? I bleed like you bleed.
Now, when did you start at the Bell Time Club? Because the Bell Time Club, for those that don't know, is it's this
little hole in the wall.
Yeah, you get a great school out of there. Like, Bo Douglas has such history all around New England and like the East Coast, really.
I started February 2017, my junior year of high school.
How did you find the Bell Time Club?
So a funny story. So I started doing backyard wrestling, and with my friends. It wasn't like, go to a show, get some fans' backyard. It was legit in my boy's backyard with his grandma screaming off the porch, like, "What are y'all doing? Superman's dying." So Spider-Man's dying. Why is Spider-Man? So anyways, I really liked it. I fell in love. So I was like, all right, let me, I want to get trained. I want to do this because my cousin did backyard and hurt his neck, and I didn't want to get hurt. If I was going to get hurt, I wanted to at least be trained, and it wasn't for no stupid reasons. And my mom, who was from South Boston,
South
That's
the old neighborhood.
That's the old neighborhood. Anyways, so Southie knew Pat, of UFO Wrestling, Pat Dillon. And he at the time was, he's very cool with Bo and Benny at the school.
Yeah.
So he was like, "Oh, I have this wrestling school." So I was like, "All right." And my mom hit him up, and I was like, "You know what?" I hit him up, and the next month I was there. My mom and dad threw down the $200. Thank God they threw down that money, because at the time I wasn't going to be able to afford it. And I started at the Bell Time Club.
And I've always told people like the Belltime Club, when someone asked me where a school was, and obviously like New England had some schools, but I always thought that was just the best place to at least get your feet wet. And then if you're going to go somewhere, like you're proving that you can go to the other places that have the schools attached because you've been to Fall River. You know what I mean? You've been to Top Rope and you've done that stuff where they have their own school attached, and it's not that easy to break in there without being a part of their system.
There's a lot of promotions around New England that have schools attached that just aren't using the name. You know what I mean? Like Top Rope isn't even like the school is called Lockup. It's not even Top Rope. Like for a while, I think UFO was like Belltime and UFO were connected, and now like it's like they still are. You know what I mean? Like a lot of Belltime student gets their first opportunity thanks to Pat Dillon and UFO. Yeah. So there's just we need that. You need that. But yeah, I mean like Belltime Club is kind of the dark horse of New England. I mean, you know what I mean? Like I'm not
listen, I've been going and I haven't been up there in a while, but I was going and hanging out back when they were in Everett in the second floor of the building. So
yeah, and like Belltime Club's been a little dark horse, a little hole in the wall, and it's kind of stayed like that for the time it's the Jason had it, and now Bowes has it, but at the same exact time, now we're here, baby, and we're trying to put a name on it.
That's it, man. Now I know they're still closed down because like Massachusetts is still not open with COVID. Like and it stinks. But who would you say? Like you're obviously the one in the class now. You're the guy there. Who's the next one?
I wouldn't want to say that.
But who would you put as the guy? Well, who would you put as the person?
I mean, Belltime has always had people that have come through that have talent. There's obviously a lot of people. I mean, there's some. Obviously not everybody's built for wrestling, so there were some people that came through that wrestling has a place for everyone. There's some people that need to stay behind the guardrail, and there's some people that need to be a wrestler, and some people that need to be a commentator, or announcer, or a ref, or a manager. You know what I mean?
Well, it doesn't work without the other either. You're not going to wrestle if there's no fans.
Right now, if I gotta say, maybe next, there was this kid named Gary, who is really kind of a natural on some stuff. There's my boy Hard Work Barnaby, who's had a couple matches. He's really good. Yeah. There's this kid named Aaron. He hasn't had any matches yet. He just started training, but I see a lot of like just natural. There's a lot of like he picks it up like that. And he gets it. You know what I mean? Okay. There's a lot of people that can wrestle and they don't get it.
Now we're going out live right now, and World Wrestling Radio is asking, what's your favorite part of the Belltime Club?
Oh, what do you mean? Because the Belltime Club's very small. I mean, I love the if I would have to say like the main thing I love about the Belltime Club is it's Benny and Bo.
Yeah, I was gonna say the train is like because
it's Benny and Bo. Like
I've seen Bo be mean, but not mean. You know what I mean?
No, Bo is very opinionated and he's old school. He talks how he feels. That's exactly how I am.
I've grown to love Benny.
Yeah.
And that's like he's a good dude. If he sees something and one of his students, he's gonna give you guys a shot and he's gonna put you, he's gonna go to a promoter and say, I'll wrestle this. I want to wrestle this kid.
Well, the thing about Benny, right, is that in my opinion, Benny is the most non-selfish person when it comes down to wrestling people. Because Benny has no problem taking students who haven't even had a match yet, bringing them on a show, and having a fucking banger like Benny can have with anybody. Benny should be signed. He shouldn't be in the, I'm glad he's here because he's helped train me, but Benny should be he should be signed. He shouldn't be in the
I think Benny was about 15 years too early because when he was like shining, when he was doing his thing, and he still does, but when he was like when Big Time Wrestling was doing their shit and he was doing his thing with them, you had to be my size. You had to be 6'7". You had to be jacked, and Benny's just not tall. You know what I mean?
But the thing about that is like there's a lot of people that weren't huge back in the day that made it. Like look at Perry Saturn. That's true. I met him in real life. He's not a very tall dude. He was wide, and even at an old age, he looked good. But he wasn't a tall dude. He just it's the way you carry yourself. Benny carries himself very big. So
now, when COVID's over, what's your plans for 2021? Like, what do you see yourself doing in the next year, really? Wrestling
My main goal is to be fucking recognized. And I'm sorry for swearing.
No,
but I want to be recognized, bro.
We're not on TV. We're not, we're not radio. Yeah. We're just over the internet. So
look at that drip.
I can click explicit and it's good.
I want to be recognized. I want to be everywhere. I want to get my shot. Like, I've already gotten a lot of opportunities from like Big Time, Beyond, Limitless, and I thank everybody that's given me a shot along the way, because you guys have really helped me. Like, I need like every shot that I get, because I have to prove myself every time, because I'm not the biggest guy.
Right. But have you sent videos out?
Of course. It's like, of course. Everybody sends videos out. That's why I go to shows.
A lot of the bigger companies, like, 2 years ago, you had like Wrestle Circus in Texas and companies like that. Mm-hmm. I don't even know what's around now outside of New England. To be honest with you,
AAW,
as far as companies of that size,
Label.
But I mean, AEW is like, I consider that like a national. You know what I mean?
No, AAW.
Oh, AAW. Okay, yeah.
Black Label.
Black Label's been around.
St. Louis Anarchy. There's a couple. There's a lot of big ones.
So you've actually.
I want to go. I'm telling you, like, I've been Pizza Party Wrestling. I've been hitting up places.
Pizza Party Wrestling?
Yes, I've been hitting up places.
Now, have you talked to some of the local guys that have done that?
Of course. I mean, I always get because like I'm not a hateful person. You know what I mean? I try to get along with everyone, as long as you're not a master me. But I've talked to everybody. I try to get as much, advice, or if someone's been there, what's going on, how is it over there, what's going, you know what I mean, who works. Like, I just want to get my shot, but I also don't want to go somewhere where it's a chaotic, or it's not like the chaotic. I'm saying it's a chaotic environment.
Right. Yeah.
Let me put that. It's a chaotic environment.
Oh, what's up, Josh? Josh? He must have something to chime in. He's been doing our production in the back, so.
I can't hear him.
You got no voice on you, Josh.
Yeah. We pay.
You got to hit the on button on the microphone. Hit the on button.
It's because I had to wait for a second, because he keeps talking about AEW and all this Ohio shit, like it's Sami Callihan's area down there. Like, we need to talk about this.
Well, he's about to fight. He's about to have a match. Can you tell them about that?
What?
Well, he's talking about Sami Callihan and like the Midwest stuff you're talking about.
Well, I mean, I want to be booked on those shows. Those are all companies that are relevant. I mean,
aren't you about to wrestle someone that's kind of on most of those shows?
Yeah, I mean, Wednesday, Limitless is having a new miniseries, The Road. It's debuting on IWTV.
At LW Main.
Yep. You already know that. I already know that.
So, Alec, Josh is in Montana, where he doesn't get any live pro wrestling.
Dang.
He watches everything on a screen. There's nothing.
Well, there's no one out there. Montana's all fields and cows, aren't it?
That's where Flip came from.
Me and Flip Gordon, that's it.
I'm facing Ace Romero in the main event.
Wow. Yes. So, okay. Like when we talk about Limitless and Randy and the things that he's done, like in that area, and the people that he's had there, like AG, Briggs, MJF, Ace Romero. I mean, all this, the fact that you get to play in that playground, that's pretty cool. So that's why I wanted to jump on, man, is because it's like when you're saying stuff like the AEW, Black Label Society, Pizza Party Wrestling, like all this stuff on IWTV is like that's where I go. That's where I live. That's nice. Exactly all I know. I mean, I even on Fight, man, I paid the $12.99 last week for Synergy to watch Tony Deppen go. So
it's sad because I was about to make my Synergy debut before this whole Corona shit started up.
Synergy's another good company too. They really are.
Oh, they're awesome. Colin West is amazing. I've never even met him, and he's like my best friend.
Colin, just backstory. Colin is an old Butte, Montana boy. Just know that.
Love it.
Literally the same town.
Love it.
Well, here's the thing, Josh. I don't think you were here in the beginning.
I was never anywhere in any beginning. I admit that freely.
Alec's mother is a Southie girl.
You already know that. You know that. I'm from South. My whole family's from South. You talk about the Gregorios. Not even look up Gregorios. You already know.
I know Gregorios.
You already know the Gregorios. See? Y'all last time, like I watched the Chris Dickinson one, and he said a lot of great things, and I love watching Dickinson.
He actually talked a lot about you pretty well.
Yeah, I mean
about your matches
I'm
with
thankful for that. Because like shit, I mean, he's at a high caliber. Chris Dickinson is just a whole different fucking breed of wrestler.
I think he was naked the whole time.
I believe it. He's a dirty fucking daddy, the filthy father. But anyways, y'all was saying I'm from New Bedford. I was looking like I ain't from New Bedford. The fuck?
No, what is the prize city? The prize city is
East Boston.
East Boston. Okay.
So my family's from South. My mom is from Southie. I lived in Southie for a little bit as a kid, and then I moved to Eastie, and I lived in Eastie. So I'm from Southie, raised in Eastie.
You had to go learn the dirty before you could go live, right?
Exactly.
Oh, come on.
Okay, I'm gonna get out of your way, man. But I just want to say that I appreciate you coming on, and I really appreciate the Bell Time Club sending it to us, because it's times like this that we look back and go, when you talk about you just want to be recognized, you just want to be fucking seen. Like when we look back at stuff like this, just had a show last week where we were just running through the names. It's like, remember when we had Alex on when he was young and just starting the Bell Time Club? Like that's the kind of stuff we want 10 years from now, so we can go back and go, man, that was fun. That's the only reason we do this. Like when you get big, go fuck off. Like we don't give a shit. Go spend your money and have fun. But we only want you when you're now.
No problem.
Thanks, dude. I appreciate it, man.
No, bro. Thank you.
Thank you, Josh. Appreciate the production stuff, because I can't do any of that.
Production look good. Look at that snow in the corner, live.
All right, you guys have fun.
You too, brother.
All right, man. Yeah, that's but the Bell Time Club, like, it just leads to great shit. It really does, because Bo knows So whether you see Bo wrestle on a show or not, doesn't mean Bo doesn't know that promoter, and Bo's not friendly with that promoter.
Oh, Bo,
you know what I mean?
Bell Time Club is like attached with like every little nook and cranny of like wrestling.
This is gonna sound cliche, but Bo knows everybody.
Bo knows everybody.
And I hate myself for saying that already.
Bell Time Club Cena.
What? I have no idea where he's putting that on. But it's whatever. If it gets views, it gets views. But yeah, so in 2021, you want to get recognized. You want to see some of these other promotions and get out of New England.
Yeah. I mean, right now, I'm with Big Time. I worked up and down the East Coast. And
yeah. Oh, okay. You toured with them?
Yeah, I went to Pennsylvania.
That's what's cool that they do. Like, the fact that they can go from here all the way down to what? Virginia?
Yeah, Virginia.
And the Carolinas, right?
Yeah, I got my...
So, I mean...
South Carolina wrestling license. I've wrestled in Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh, in this giant convention center because of them. Big Time's given me a lot of opportunities and shown me kind of a higher level of wrestling before I was at Limitless or Beyond.
Is that with your manager?
HC3,
with your agent?
He hasn't. I want him to show.
I was thinking. Fucking Davis.
Yeah, HC3.
Oh, EC. I thought you said AC something. I was like, yeah. Now, the Bell Time Club, with it being closed down, I know there's a couple of T-shirts out there people can, not being closed down, but being shut down with the COVID. Yeah. There's T-shirts out there people can buy and stuff. I think EC3 is one of them. Where his T-shirt sales are going towards the Bell Time Club.
HD3, yeah.
HD3.
There was a Kowalski. There was a shirt that came out recently that Sully Banger put out.
Yeah, that
was it was gorgeous. It had Walter drop in his, the Killer Knee drop, and then they got I know like Bo has Bell Time shirts, like regular Bell Time shirts.
Okay, because for those that don't know, like when this COVID hit, like Bo, they still got to pay rent.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean. And they still got to pay rent, and it's just. It's coming out of pocket at that point, so
yeah. I mean, right?
I'm hoping when he opens up with some of the stuff that's happened around New England that I won't really get into here. I'm hoping he's able to expand huge once this.
Yeah, I don't want to talk on any of that, please.
Yeah, no.
I don't want. I'm good.
We've avoided it.
Please, just skirt that shit to the left. No funny.
We've avoided it completely because I don't want to get into it, but I hope that that's going to just help the Belltime Club explode because it's so clean.
Oh, it is.
You know what I mean?
And a lot of like Sully Banger, like Bo didn't even know that Sully was making the shirts, and Sully produced the shirts. Like, and
Sully's not even a student or anything there.
No, right? But he's just a really good friend. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Sully's awesome.
That's what wrestling is, though. It really is. You had a couple of really close people that become family. Now, how do I come about this? So if you don't want to talk about it, you can avoid it. You had a substitute teacher in high school at one point.
Yeah, Mr. Dan Terry.
Did he help sway you at all? Or was he like a one-time sub?
No. So Miss Dan Terry is the worst fucking substitute ever. I love him. I love Dan to death. But bro, oh my God. I would be sitting there, right? No work. Trying to be on my phone. He'd be like, yo, get off your phone. He's on his phone. And he's like, oh, I'll send you out. He would always talk shit. So I would walk up and be like, I'm going to RKO you. I'm going to German you. I'm going to discus lariat you. All this. And he's like, I want to see you try. Like, he's
Did
just,
you know? For those who don't know, Dan Terry is another local independent, or was a local independent wrestler. I don't know if he's still doing shows or not.
Yeah, the Iron.
Dan was the fittest man. But did you know he was a wrestler at that point when he was the teacher?
Yeah, so someone told me he was a wrestler.
Okay,
so that's why I would go up and mess up with, you know what I mean? Mess with like RKO you and all that. I
know he tried to hide it. Like he changed his name a few times on Facebook and stuff like that so the kids wouldn't find him.
Well, I remember I tried, I think it was like about to be a wrestler and I tried adding him, but at that point he was still a sub at Eastie. So he was like, I can't add you, buddy. I'm sorry. And I was like, oh, damn. Like,
yeah, shucks. I was hoping you had the answers to that test.
Of course.
but that's cool because that's like not different generations because you guys aren't that far off in age, I don't think, but it's different generations, all in the same, and you guys were in the same school.
Yeah, I mean, like, well, Dan went to Eastie. I went to Eastie. He subbed at Eastie. His brother, I knew his brother. I played major leagues with his brother. You know what I mean? So senior leagues.
But I mean, even like you guys were at the Belltime at the same time, I think, right? Or was he already?
No, he was.
Had he already moved out?
Yeah. So when I started at the Belltime, we had Channing Thomas, we had Ryan Everby. I remember Billy. I think it was Billy, and Yusuf and Edmond. Yeah. Oh
yeah. Was Edmond still around at that point?
Yeah, he was. You know what's crazy? So the first time Edmond, I never had a problem with Edmond. There's been a couple times that I've had a couple crazy like situations with Edmond that I was just like, this is just him. Like, when I first met him, right? I went there because they said they had Saturday classes. Went there Saturday, opened up the door, knocked on it, no one's there. Edmond opens up and he's like, "Hello, what are you doing here?" And I'm like, look at it. I'm like, who is this? Is this Bo? You Bo? He was like, nah, he's coming on Tuesday. Come back Tuesday. I was like, all right. And I was like, what are you doing here? He was like, I'm just cleaning up and making sure everything's, you know what I mean? Because, that's what Edmond did. Edmond, he swept the ring. He kept, you know what I mean? He kept the school clean. But Edmond, like, there was multiple occasions, like him eating a whole pint of ice cream at a show right before a show.
Gilligan in the corner telling people who Edmond is, Hercules Jones.
Yes. No, he ate a whole pint of a whole giant freaking gallon of ice cream he took to the face before a match. Or like Jesus. Edmond giving me clotheslines for the first time and was like, "You're lucky I like you because I would take your head off with these clotheslines." And I was like, "Oh shit, thanks, I guess."
Yeah. Well, thanks for leaving it here.
Yeah, like
but that was just the differences you had at the Belltime. But Dan, I know Dan started there, so that's why I thought he might have still been in there when you got there.
No, he was at the Bell Time Club when I was still in high school.
Okay.
But when I got there, it was just a few people. Like Benny was out on injury, and then he came back like a month or two after I started wrestling. So
who is it? Just Benny and Bo now training?
Yeah, so like Big Bear comes and helps out.
Of course.
He's always at every class, and if someone needs help, with a spot, usually Bear is good with promos and spots.
Yeah, oh yeah,
helping out because I love Big Bear. That's my dude.
Yeah.
And Benny is usually in ring. Most of the grit and dirty. Bo's usually on the sides. He comes in ring to help out when he sees something not going right or he needs to fix stuff. Bo and Benny have a very good dynamic because it's like a marriage, but because they're always at each other's throats because they're just totally different sides of the wrestling spectrum. Benny is flips and new age stuff and the way selling, and Bo is old school because Bo was just trained that way. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm glad that I was brought up and trained in the environment that I was because Benny and Bo just have that clashes of the styles that just work. And for some reason, when Bo gets the kids, and like Bo's great at networking, Benny is great at in-ring. Bo knows what he's talking about, and Benny is just amazing. So it's the best trainers in New England.
I mean, you got the lineage between the two of them. With Bo, it goes back to Walter.
Benny goes back to Walter too.
Does it? Okay, I wasn't sure where Benny
Richard
went to school. Okay, which was trained by Walter. So you got two Killer Kowalski guys, right? Like Bo, a direct Killer Kowalski guy.
Yeah.
Bo was probably the last of Killer's class.
No, actually, it was crazy because Benny was actually the last, and because Benny went there for like 2 weeks before they closed down. Because when he joined, they were already about to close, and I think it was like maybe a week or like a month maybe, but like Benny was a part of the last class, and then he went over to Burns's.
Okay. And Burns did it for years and trained under Killer too. So that's like the original trainer of pro wrestling. I don't know if that is
Mr. New England. That is wrestling.
But not only that, but he was the first wrestling school in America.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure if you look that up,
there's not a name right now. Like in wrestling, not even just in New England. But if you look, there's people that are trained by Killer on TV. There's people that have been trained by, there's so many people that have Killer Kowalski lineage or have been trained by him or is from some part of the tree that is on TV.
Right.
Because, Killer trained the right way. Killer was a crazy man. I've heard a lot of stories. But the thing about it is Killer was wrestling. And he is New England, and I'm glad that I'm under that lineage and come from that. You know what I mean? That Hollow just shared a picture of Benny is in it. Oh, there you go.
And that's Pat Dillon. That's also low key another old Killer student.
There you go. Yeah, too. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's the lineage of it, and they know how to get. They knew what it takes. They know how to get somebody and elevate them. So. Everything else after that's up to you, and you've been doing a good job because in the time you've been around, you've hit the major companies like Beyond. People come from all over to work for Beyond.
Yeah,
same thing with Limitless, and it's not just the names that they bring in; it's the indie guys that are coming up from New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, all over to work for those two companies, right?
I've gotten given a lot of opportunities, and I'm actually very thankful for the opportunities that I was given. But to be honest, a lot of it was I went to shows and I helped out.
Now,
because
do you have a home promotion?
What do you mean?
I think that's kind of gone away of the past. You have a promotion that's your base, the one you won't miss a show for.
I try not to miss a show at all. I don't. Okay. That's why I try not to double book, and I try not to miss a show. When I first started, there was a couple times I may have missed. I didn't miss any bell time shows, but I may have missed maybe a superhero show. But
The
I mean,
superhero
like,
shows are fun.
Limitless, Let's Wrestle, Bell Time, obviously is not automatic, but Limitless, Let's Wrestle, like any other, like I said, I don't miss any show. So if anybody books me, I will not. I will try not to miss that show. I will be there 30 minutes. I'll be there a couple hours early in the parking lot sleeping if I have to.
I've seen you do. I mean, it's not easy for you to get to the Limitless shows. The Beyond shows are a little ways out. And
Beyond's like 45.
Yeah, I mean, that's not next door, though. You know what I mean? But the Limitless shows, what do you get, 2 hours?
Yeah, depending on where it's at. Bang, or where Let's Wrestle's at is in Orono. It's like 3 hours.
Now, what's the difference in the show? Well, not the show quality, but sort of like the fan quality between Let's Wrestle and Limitless. Are they similar?
No, so Let's Wrestle is kind of turned into its own little entity. Because the thing about like Randy explained this on the Limitless podcast better than I will, but the thing about Central Maine fans is they don't really tend to move. They don't, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So we have people that are, come back a lot, and then we have new people. And the thing about Limitless and Let's Wrestle is just that it's just two different dynamics. You know what I mean? Like two totally different dynamics. Like Let's Wrestle is like the kids, you know what I mean? Given, the key, the prisoners being given the keys to the asylum.
Okay.
And like Randy obviously does. Randy, everybody that helps out does an amazing job on the Let's shows. And Randy is not, you know what I mean? He's not slacking on those shows. He takes pride in those shows, and he's very serious when he's there. And I've seen Randy get stressed out at Let's shows the same way he's gotten stressed out at Limitless shows. You know what I mean? So. And
that's the thing is, like, I've seen guys that have been promoting for years, like, shut down because they couldn't handle the stress of running one promotion, and he's up there running two, and he's, 21 years old?
Yeah, like 22, 21.
Randy
was just meant to be a wrestler. I mean, to be a wrestling promoter.
Yeah.
Like, he was just meant to be a wrestling promoter. He's got the mind for it. He was able to build a company he was able to build a company like mad quickly. 4 years. Limitless is already the number 6 looked up thing for wrestling on YouTube.
Is that right?
Facts.
That's incredible because you got 4 majors. We'll say
Beyond was number
Impact. 1. Yeah, and that's the thing.
This was old.
I'm not even counting the majors, the nationals. I'm counting like the WWE, the AEW, the Ring of Honor, and the Impact.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But Beyond beat all of them except for WWE. And now you got Beyond. A handful right there. You got 5 companies, and they're still number 7.
Yeah, they're still number 7, like CZW, obviously, because CZW was just...
Right.
They got the internet.
Yeah, CZW is made for the internet.
Facts.
A lot of their stuff, like, you can't see on, it's... I'm not a huge fan of the like deathmatch stuff, but there's a place for it. Yeah, there's a place for it.
I won't do. I mean, if the pay is good and the time calls for it and the rivalry, I'll do a deathmatch.
Right. There's got to be.
I really don't want to though.
Yeah, there's got to be a place for it.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna just go up to show up and be like, all right, I'm gonna do that. No, I'm not a deathmatch wrestler. I'm a serious. And I'm not saying that deathmatch, because deathmatch, it takes a lot more to put into a deathmatch. That like it's not just throwing people through, you know what I mean, like through throwing people through doors and tables and like it's very complicated. Like it's actually sometimes more complicated than regular wrestling.
Oh yeah, and like because even though you don't do that style, you understand it because like. Even me, I'm only around wrestling. I'm not in the business. I go to a lot of shows. I help set up. I'll do security, whatever. I'm not a wrestler. I've never been. I've sat in on some training sessions, watched some training sessions, but I don't know what the hell you guys do. But I watch it differently than a lot of other people at this point. And I'm sure you watch it differently than I do, and you see different things than I do.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
and that's
when you're in the business, it's hard to watch wrestling as a fan.
Yeah, it's
when you're on the road, you're just around so much wrestling.
Right. Now, have you been watching any WWE shit now?
I watch the pay-per-views every once in a while if I think a match is going to be good, and then they
Did you catch this last one?
No.
Oh, be glad.
I've been glad.
I've been a fan of like the Bray Wyatt stuff that they've been doing, those matches, because like I love good storytelling, and that's all those matches. There's no wrestling in them; it's just been storytelling. They just completely fucked that up. Like it was
big facts.
His thing with Braun Strowman.
I didn't see it, so I'm kind of glad I didn't see it now.
Oh, bad.
I'm not even talking because like WWE is just like.
And then how do you rip a superstar's eye out? How do you come back from that?
I mean, they threw somebody off the roof.
True, and he was there the next day.
They threw two people off the roof.
And one of them was there the next night. So this is true. It's like the short-term thinking. Like they don't WWE, WWF. Like I'm older. I'm 45. Like I remember the 80s. I remember the Hulk Hogan's and Macho Man's and all that. That was my era. That was, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You didn't have a title 10 times because you held the title for 10 years. Like you were the champ. You were the champ. That was it. There was no touching you.
Yeah.
And now it's like they just flip everything, and like I'm not a fan of that.
No, I mean they build people. They'll have people come out of nowhere, then build them to be these fucking giant stars, give them the belt, and then they're. You know what I mean? Like, look at Kofi. Obviously the Fox contract had something to do with that. They wanted Brock. But it's like Kofi, you built him up and I had a dope run. And it's not that I don't look at Kofi. Like Kofi has worked his ass off for that shot. And he got everyone behind him. So why not give him a good reign? You know what I mean?
Right. And he deserves Kofi spent more time in WWE than anywhere. Like he had maybe 100 matches before he got signed.
Oh yeah, he was trained by Hollow.
Right.
He was trained by Hollow at Chaotic.
He had maybe 100 matches before he signed. So like his whole career has been WWE.
Yeah, facts.
And like he's done everything they've asked him to do. He does deserve a good run.
He does. He did deserve a good run. Like it's not even like I just don't get it. Like when you have talent that you do, like the talent that they have is just crazy because they have a fucking world-class people, world-class wrestlers.
Yeah.
And especially before the pandemic, they were signing up every single indie star that was worth it. And I'm not saying there's not every, you know what I mean? Like Josh,
my producer that clicked in earlier, well, he's not the producer. He's one of the co-hosts usually, but he's the producer tonight. He calls Vince the collector.
He is.
Because he just collects people. And that's all.
And then when you fire them or the contract gets done, they got a 60-day, 90-day clause or whatever the hell it is.
Right.
And then you can't wrestle anywhere for that amount of time.
Yeah.
And it's like that makes no. I don't understand it. With the people that they had AJ Styles, Bobby Roode, Samoa Joe, Eric Young, Drew McIntyre. They had fucking Aleister Black, who used to be Tommy End. They had Ricochet. They have all these top EC3 who was killing it in Impact for a little bit. Yeah. You had all of these guys. Big Damo from Ireland. You had all these guys.
You just handed them all back.
Yeah, like just not even just handing them all back, but it's like you didn't do shit with them. And I feel like, to be honest, in my opinion, WWE signed people up way too quickly because they signed so many people up that they signed so many new people up that they weren't able to give everybody the right pushes that they deserve. Like they could at least held back a little bit or let them have indie dates and then bring them in. You know what I mean? But they
right. Oh yeah, Leo Connor's there too. That in the chat that from the Ring and All Other Sports. You familiar with that show?
Yeah, I was on that show.
in the New England Indie Insider. The New England Indie Insider, his new one. That I'm at. Me and Josh, we're all a part of that with him, and a part of this will actually go on that as well, which is like just taking the New England stars and all the New England companies and kind of putting a spotlight on them. It's really kind of a cool thing.
Yeah.
But he's in there, and he said, a CZW legend, and I read about this. I wasn't familiar with him. Passed away this week, Zbar.
Yeah,
I wasn't familiar.
Who was it that died before him that I knew? I didn't never met him, but I knew of him. I think
a local kid last week, I think, too, that I didn't know, but a lot of my friends knew.
Yeah, I forget his name, but he was like, I remember watching him like when I first watched, like first ever seen CW. You know what I mean? And you know, I'm sorry for disrespecting his memory because I don't even remember his name. Like I can't even remember his name right now.
Was it? Are you thinking Trent Acid? That was a while back, though.
No, it was somebody else. He died of a heart attack, I think, or something like that.
Okay.
What was his name? There's Havoc.
Oh, okay.
Havoc. There you go.
Now. What did you know indie wrestling existed? Like when you're doing your backyard thing, and
no, I mean I knew indie wrestling existed. I didn't know indie wrestling existed until maybe like I was like 7, 8.
Okay, see, I never knew about it when I was like I knew about it because I grew up with Pat, and Pat went to Walters, but I never went to the shows.
I I went to like a Moose Lodge one day.
Okay.
When I was like legit like 6, and it was the first that someone came out with chains, and it was a dope show. It was a dope show. I was in the ring, like they were getting mad at us because we were jumping off the top rope and all that. Like
that's cool though when you're like you see that at intermission at every indie show where they have pictures in the ring. So that's you know, and that's what kids are gonna do. You can't get pissed off at them.
I mean, but it's dangerous, so I understand. Now I totally get it. When I was a kid, I was like, "Fuck you! I just want to go jump off the top rope. Like, why won't you let me be like Snooker or like Jeff Hardy?"
Right. Oh yeah, don't do the flips.
I do them.
Well, you can now. You can now.
I was doing them as a little kid.
There you go.
Danny
Hardy. Yeah.
Danny Havoc, yeah.
Yeah. Josh surprised me with graphics. Yeah, it's just sad. Wrestling, you know, it's not an easy. It's not a hard life, so I don't want to sound like that either, but it's a different type of lifestyle. It really is.
I mean, it is hard though.
It's somewhere in between real life and carny, like the lifestyle of it.
The thing about wrestling is wrestling is wrestling. It's a separate entity. But there's a lot of people that can take wrestling and mix it with their real life. And like the thing about wrestling is like when you start getting bigger and you start getting booked more and you're now on the shows, like I've missed family events, I've missed birthdays, I've missed a lot of things. And it's like it's not even like, you know what I mean? Like I've missed a lot of things and it's because of wrestling. And I've chosen this. Like it's crazy because like there's been times where I didn't get no sleep and I went to a show. I've been in the car for freaking 27 hours when I got stuck in a snowstorm on the way back from Tennessee. Yeah, from Tennessee, from big time wrestling. 26 hours.
The worst I did was I went down. There was a show in New Jersey. I went down with Rich Bass and Teddy Hart decided to cut a promo in the ring that in the middle of his match, and the promo went about 45 minutes, so the show went way over. We left there at 12:30. The show ended, and we pissed right out of there because it was now Easter Sunday. So we're flying back from, you know, just you're going home just to try to get some rest before you get to go see the family.
Yeah. See, like we were told not to go a certain way. But it wasn't my. So like I don't have my license. I couldn't drive nowhere. I was just along for the ride. And the thing about it was they legit told us, do not go this way. C.W. Anderson, always listen to C.W. Anderson, kids. This is a lesson of the day. Always listen to C.W. C.W. Anderson told me, they told us, don't go this way. Go the south or go the beach way closest to the ocean because the thing's not going to be over there. And I'm like, oh, we're like, okay. On our way home, another local star, Channing Thomas, decides, hey, you know, I'm looking at the GPS right now, and it's saying it's about the same time that we took to get down here. So let's just go this way. And the other man, Pigpen, Paul Glantz, decides, that's if you think that's gonna be a good way, go ahead. So now, me and Benny are in the ride, We're on the ride, and now we're stuck. And it's legit. Like, it looks like hyperspace in the Millennium Falcon. The roads, there's nobody on the roads. There's freaking cars on the side of the highway. There's people dead. There's like abandoned cars. We're legit sliding all over the place. There was a couple times that like me and Timmy was like, I'm gonna close my eyes just in case I die, so I don't see it coming. And I'm like, I want to watch it coming. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I want to know what's gonna hit me.
Fucking Pigpen, bro. We were stuck in a car for 26 hours, and this is Benny. So like, I'm in the trunk. Benny's like hurt, his knee's killing him, and Pigpen goes, I think we need to get a hotel. And Benny goes, I think we're gonna be stuck here for 2 days. And Benny goes, what? Jumps up out of dead sleep and drives us through the storm. I wake up, we hit Virginia, right? We took freaking forever, or Virginia. We took forever to get from where we were at to get to even Virginia, right? Took fucking forever. The minute we crossed over the state border, it was nothing. There was no snow.
That's funny.
There was no snow.
It's crazy, but that's what happens. But that's why you do the road trips. It's not a road trip if you don't come back with a good story out of it, you know?
Oh, I got a lot of good stories from road trips.
I'm sure. Now, what do you think about the guy that Josh threw up in the middle of the screen a few minutes ago, MJF?
I mean, he's
Did you do Limitless? Prodigy. Was he still around Limitless when you were up? When you went up to Limitless?
So when I went up to Let's Wrestle, for the first time, I started showing up at Limitless events, just helping out, obviously. Okay. And he was at the time, I think the first show I went to, he became champion. It was the Fatal 4-Way. And then the next show I went to basically after that point, I went to every Limitless event but one. That's because I had I was booked in North Carolina at the time.
But, you think he's the best heel? You think he's the best around right now? Not around, but the best. I'd say the best in the business right now.
Nah, brother. Nah.
You don't think MJF is?
Me.
Okay.
Me. Now, anyway, MJF is a prodigy. I mean, he's already got he was the first Limitless world champion, and he made it the world champion. I don't know if anybody knows this, but a title doesn't become a world championship until it's defended in another country. He defended it in England.
Yeah, most aren't defended in another city.
Yeah, exactly. Most Indies are like,
huh?
Most Indies are like, I defended in another state, brother. It was
Congratulations, you're the interstate
world champion.
But that's true. I remember when he did that. That does sort of legitimize it.
I mean, he's just such a good I met him a couple times. He's never been a dick to me. I mean,
well, because
he just has that energy. You know what I mean? He's just that. When I've seen him to fans, bro, he is savage with fans.
Yes.
I've never seen someone act towards fans like this. You have like people like me who are assholes, but we'll entertain you, and we're actually really, we got a big heart. You know what I mean? Like I'm an asshole, but I got a big heart. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've seen you at shows, and I don't know if you have it in you to be that dick when you're not in the ring. When you're in the ring, absolutely. But when you're out and you're with the fans, do you have it in you to give that little kid the middle finger?
No, I mean, yes. I've done it before. I've done it walking away, going towards the entrance at the end of a match.
Okay, then I give you props.
No, the thing about it is, I'm myself. When I'm the prize, I'm not another character. I'm just me.
Right.
I'm just times the 1,000.
And I can vouch for that. The few times that I've met you, the few times that I've been in the building,
you know I'm tapped. There's no change. The only thing is my voice gets louder and my eyes get bigger and I get more hyped and excited and I start throwing out words that I most of the disrespects I come up with. I would never say. I mean, I would say it obviously, but I would be a little bit cautious about it. You feel?
Yeah, it's that thing. It's that piece in you that you added out.
That's the reason I keep throwing up MJF is because, there's a path. There's belts that people put on people's waists for a reason, like Chaotic and Beyond, and IWTV and the Independent Wrestling Champion, which was Orange for a while, and the CZW.
Orange made it.
Yeah. I mean, the deal is, man, when you want it, you go get it. And there's nothing more true in this business than being true to yourself and who you are. Because the minute you're fake, that all goes away in front of a crowd. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So, dude, I'm excited to watch you do what you do, and that's you just got to be you. Like when somebody asks who's the greatest heel in the world, it's me. It's always me. Nobody else. That's the answer. Like that is the key. Like I think that's the difference between people that make it and people that don't. Is that
Yeah,
when
you
people
have
are ask those questions, right? They answer them the way a Mark would answer them instead of answering the way you should answer them. Like it's me, motherfucker.
Yeah, exactly. Like don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I don't think I'm the greatest wrestler in the world yet. I have a lot to learn. I've only been in the business for 3 years. But, I mean, I'm just a natural. I mean, you look at me and you just want to hate me.
Here's how you put that. You say,
yeah, that's true.
Here's how you do. You put this comparatively. Anyone else in the world at this point in the career, I'm better.
Facts.
Yeah,
do you think outside of you?
Facts.
Outside of yourself, who do you think is the best heel in the business?
I mean, like MJF is awesome.
When
Jake the Snake was around, Jake the Snake is like the greatest heel of all time.
Absolutely.
Greatest heel of all time. Number one.
But I always loved
promos.
Jake, though.
Yo, Jake cuts the best best promos. He was the best heel. But like right now, I don't know, because the thing with wrestling is there's no true heels anymore. Right. And I'm just saying this because this is what I see. Because when I go onto a card, like, and they ask me to be heel, I'm going out there to be myself, but I also want to be the most annoying, most hated fucking heel. I want to have the best match in my position or best match on the card. I want to be the most remembered. And nowadays, there's a lot of people that try to be heels, but the crowd just come in with the claps and they cheer for them. Like there's no real heels anymore.
Is it easier for you to be a heel just you, or is it easier for you when you have your manager Howardson with you?
I mean, Howardson, adds on, but just me, I'm fine.
Because when you say annoying, I think HD3.
I got booked to be a dick.
You do. You absolutely.
Yeah, I mean,
when you say annoying, I think HD3, and I like Howardson. I do, as a person. Howardson. But in the ring, annoying.
Oh, he adds on to it. That's why we're the total package. Howardson adds on to it, and some people think he's my father. Well, he's not, but
no,
he's a handsome dude, so I don't mind. Shit.
Now, how did you two link up? Was that through the school?
No, so I mean, it technically was. So I was at an NCW show, helping out, and he came up and he was like, "Hey, you one of the wrestlers?" And I went, How the hell did you know? Like, I'm just trying to help out. And he was like, no, I could just see you helping out and all that. And he was like, I'm going to manage you one day. And I was like, all right. And he was like, what? I was like, I've been talking to Bo. I'm going to go to the Bell Time Club. And I was like, all right. You know what I mean? All right. Because everyone says that. And then he came to a top rope event. And then he was in the school. And I'm looking at him. I'm like, what are you doing here, dude? Like, what are you doing here? You actually showed up. And, I mean, no, like the funny part about it was my birthday, and Howardson, like you said, he wanted to manage me, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm going to be a manager." And it was my birthday, and I hit up Don Vega, and I was at Showcase Pro Wrestling at the time, and I went, "Hey, Howardson, can this my boy Howardson manage me?" He was like, "Yeah." And the minute we walked in, Davis brought his cookies like he usually does.
Oh yeah.
And we went out there and killed it. Yeah, bacon with joy, and we went out there and killed it. Because Howardson he's awesome. Davis, has managed me. You know what I mean? He's been at the Bell Time Club, watching what, managers should do. And, he's gotten a lot of advice from the greatest manager in wrestling right now, and probably wrestling almost ever, Sidney Bacabella. You know what I mean?
Oh, Sidney is so hot.
You cannot talk about New England wrestling without talking about goddamn Joey Eastman. Or Sidney Bacabella.
So I love Joey. I love Sidney Bacabella. I did not like him as a manager before the Sidney Bacabella shtick, though. He did a couple of small runs up here with like little companies, and I just wasn't a fan of it. But once he did that Sidney thing, that's like him. It really is him. And no one else could pull that off.
He has probably one of the greatest minds in the business. Yep. He knows what the fuck he's talking about. And when he likes you, he's gonna make sure that you know when you're fucking up. But he doesn't mean it to be a dick. He means it because he really cares about you. Like, he's one of those dudes that if he likes you and he cares about you, he's gonna go to the ends to make sure that you know what I mean, that you're getting and being and performing at the best of your ability if he's there.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And he cares about the business too, and he doesn't want to see the business suffer because somebody's doing something they shouldn't be doing. And
he's just
you gotta be honest.
You got to. And the thing about, like, I remember like we're at a superhero show, Ken Kelly's superhero show, and he seen me and he was there with his son. And he looked at me and he was like, and he knew who I was just from, the hair. And I was Robin. And he was like, Alec Pri, you're just too good. You're too good to be skinny. And I was like, you're right. Because it's not that I don't think that it's just, I know that I'm not the biggest guy. Right. I know that, when I first started, I was a twig because I just came out of being a freaking track star in high school. So I was...
Yeah, you put a little bit of size on.
A little bit. You know what I mean? And, there's 14 carats helping with the weight. You know what I mean?
There you go. Gotta have the bling, gotta flash a little, right?
Gotta have the drip. Gotta have it. Look at fanny pack never lacking. Pack never lacking.
I love the Flint shirt, too.
Ooh, you gotta know that. Got that matching socks, and you got, Flint. You gotta look good.
Now,
you don't love yourself, how in the hell are you gonna love somebody else?
Is that what the Prize City OG is about? The drip, the fit?
Nah. The Prize City OG is about me. The drip just comes with it because I know how to match myself and dress myself. Some people don't know how to do that.
Okay.
Some people don't know how to do that. They put on the wrong colors. No. I make sure when I go outside, I match. The Prize City OG is all about. I'm all about my, like. I'm not a dick. I'm not self-centered. You know what I mean? But at the same exact time, in wrestling, you have to be about yourself. I want more. I want more than I'm getting now, even though I've gotten a lot in 3 years. I want more. I want to be on TV. I want to be in everybody's talk. I want to be on people's Twitter. I want to be everywhere. That's what the Prize City OG is about. It's about putting me on the map, making sure that I come out of East Boston with my name, making sure Eastie's got a name, making sure that I just make it. I want to do this for me. I love my family. If I was to get signed and make the big bucks, then hell yeah, I'm putting my family on. I'm making sure they're taken care of. But at the same exact time, I'm doing this for me. This is my dream, and I want to live it.
We got just about 2.5 minutes left.
Yes, sir.
Can you have the Prize City OG tell us where they can find you online and all that?
Of course, brother. Prize City, look up on Instagram at the Prize City OG, Twitter at the Prize City OG. I got my my Facebook page, the Prize Alec Price. Got my Facebook account, Alec Price. You want to send me a friend request? That's basically it for right now. I mean, my Snap is private and no one's getting that.
I was gonna say, you don't really want to be friends with these people, do you?
No, I mean, shit. They're fans. I love support. I don't look at anybody differently. Everybody, like I said, everyone is human to me. I love everybody until you cross me. I don't see evil in people until they show me evil. You know what I mean? I'm a very observant person. And with people, if they want to be my fans, if they want to hit me up. It doesn't mean that I'm always gonna have the time to answer, but I'm you know what I mean? I love support and I love when people are actually like helping me and they're keeping their eyes on the prize.
That's Alec, man, you're gonna do big shit. I appreciate you. I like watching. I'm a fan, so I know if I'm gonna see an Alec Price match, it's gonna be a good match. And guys, check them out. Check us out on the At3 Irish Boys too.
3 Irish, look at that. Got the clatter on. Clatter on. Ooh, I'm Portuguese, but I got the clatter on because I'm also Irish. You see that
in the background?
Ooh, look at that. Look at that skull with the Irish flag. Gee.
That's it, man.
That's it.
See, I don't have drip.
Yo, this is some dope. Yeah, this is some drip right here. And if I ever was to get locked up, they can't make me take it off. So
Why is that?
Because it's a part of my culture. It's Irish. It's a part of the culture.
Really? Oh, I never knew that.
Yes, brother. I knew that because I got a couple of OGs that were telling me. You know
not that I ever plan on getting locked up, but you know.
Oh, of course not. No.
But-
See. I'm a little hoodlum, but I've never been caught.
That's...
Keep it at that. Keep it at that. No.
But guys, go follow this hoodlum. Check out, plug the Limitless thing again too.
Oh yeah,
The
look up
miniseries.
The Road. The Road is coming up. The miniseries coming up on this Wednesday, 7, right before. I think it's right between NXT and AEW. It's gonna be all first time ever matches. I'm facing AC Romero, the big boy, and I'm gonna beat the shit out of him.
And he's a Limitless original. So
he's Hogan. He's Hogan of Limitless.
That's
he's the gatekeeper. In my opinion, he's the gatekeeper. You're not gonna be anybody in Limitless unless you're facing AC. It's the same with Let's Wrestle. In my opinion, Danger Kid is the gatekeeper of Let's Wrestle.
Yeah. Now, and everybody's craving wrestling right now, so check that out, guys. It's something different. You know, I like AEW. I like WWE. I'm not a fan of WWE. I just don't like some of what they're doing right now.
Yeah,
they'll get back into their groove, but like stuff like Limitless is just
look at
good.
IWTV. They got all the Limitless events. They had the live stream. They had the last miniseries, Pandemic at the Dojo, which I was 2-1 at. But
yeah, and that was like controversial because I was right in the smack middle of things.
No, but that was all taped beforehand. I mean, like
okay.
I mean, like it.
There was no audience or anything, so
it was no audience at all. All of us. This was before all the big Corona stuff hit. But when we were at the Road, Randy and Limitless took probably the best precautions that any promoter or any wrestling promoter could ever take. You know, before we even were allowed to enter the building, we had temperature chest as wrestlers. Everyone had to wear a mask. They were 6 feet apart. Like Randy has changed a lot of main wrestling, and he's definitely the promoter that makes a space safe for the wrestlers. There's a lot of places that worry about themselves. There's a lot of promoters that worry about themselves. But when you have a promoter that gives a fuck about the boys and actually cares about their safety and their health, it really means, you know what I mean? It really means a lot. And I owe everything to Randy.
I don't want to run too much longer, but main wrestling was sort of a joke before Limitless.
Of course. It was.
You know, you had a handful of companies. You had the Savolis. But the handful of companies were like gimmicky. The Savolis were sort of gimmicky. The NWA stuff. So
there was and I'm not throwing trash at anybody. Not throwing trash at anybody. Not throwing shade. Hey, there ain't no Kool-Aid. There ain't, you know what I mean? But for a while, if you weren't facing Alexander Lee,
right?
And you know, if someone was like, "Oh, I'm facing someone from Maine," is it Alexander Lee? Because if it wasn't, then it was like, you never knew. You know what I mean? You just never knew. You just never knew if you were gonna get someone that just came fresh out the backyard. You know what I mean?
Right. But Alec, guys, check him out on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff. The young kids know how to work all that a lot better than I do. So, check us out.
Reprise City OG.
We'll see you guys. Guys who checked us out live, congratulations. You get it about a week before everyone else. So,
hey. Thank you so much for having me on the show.